Hey everybody, welcome to my live. Welcome to my live tonight. Welcome guys, welcome again, welcome again. Hope everybody's having a beautiful night. If it's day wherever you're watching from, I hope you are having a beautiful day. But welcome to my live again, guys. I am here. Um, didn't plan as usual, but I am here. I am here. Welcome everybody. Welcome to the live. Tonight we have a very interesting conversation, our topic to talk about. Very interesting topic. So how is everybody doing? How is everyone? How was your day? Hope your day was good. Hope you had a peaceful day, a productive day. And we're here, and we're going to talk. So welcome everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to my live. So I'm Sarah. Welcome to my channel, Sarah's House of Flavor. Tonight, definitely, we are going to dive into a very important topic, something that a lot of persons, a lot of us, we don't like to speak about it, but we are here. We are here. We are here. I hope everybody can hear me. I hope everybody can see me. I hope everybody is tuning, right? So tonight we are going to talk about, as I said, a very important topic, healing after trauma. How do you feel safe again? Healing after trauma. How do you feel safe again after you have been through trauma? How do you feel safe again? That's what we're going to dive in tonight about, and we're going to talk about how do we feel safe again after you have been through or experience some traumatic moment in your life. That's what we are here to talk about. Hi everybody, welcome to my live. Welcome to my live. You are beautiful. Where do you live? Oh, thank you very much. Welcome to my live. All right, guys. So tonight, our topic will be on healing after trauma. So if you have been through any trauma, tonight, I hope you will get some form of clarity what trauma is, how you can heal. Okay? All right. So tonight, we are going to look at trauma. And trauma doesn't look like what people imagine. It is not always dramatic or loud. Sometimes it is very quiet. Sometimes it's the moment your life shifts and you will never felt safe again. So if you have been through any traumatic experience, I hope tonight after, listening to this live, there will be some form of clarity, and also I hope healing will start to take place. All right? Sometimes it's the things that you never told anyone about. Sometimes it's the pain that you carry in your body, in your mind, and in your spirit, even when you smile. Have you ever seen person smiling, but you still can see there is pain? When you look at them, you see that pain in their eyes, right? So that's what trauma can bring in person's life. So today we are going to talk about what trauma really is, how it affects your mind, your body, and most importantly, how can you begin to rebuild a sense of safety and peace. This is a safe space. Let me um, clear that. And you are not alone. I want to say to persons tonight, if you're on my live and you have been through any traumatic experience in your life, you are not alone. You are not alone in this. And I'm here, just to shed some light on trauma and how you can get through. All right. So when we look at the word trauma, what does trauma means to you? And I'm going to give a definition, right? So trauma refer to a deeply distressing or disturbing experience that overwhelm your ability to cope, causing lasting emotional, psychological, or physical damage. So that's what trauma does, right? It affects not just emotionally, not just psychologically, but also physically. All right? So that's what trauma is. Trauma is the wound that the events leave behind. So trauma is the wound, right, that leaves behind. So after you have been through that traumatic experience, it what leaves behind, that scar, that wound, that is what the trauma does, right? That wound that it leaves behind. So I want to encourage you tonight that listen, don't feel don't feel or feel guilty, right, of what you have been through. You didn't put this on yourself. It happens, but we will find a way how to deal with it. All right? It is the emotional, mental, and sometimes physical imprint that stay with you long after the moment has passed. So sometimes you see people, they have gone through so many experience, and they just don't know how to deal with it. They are carrying that wound, that burden around, right, because of what they have been through. All right. I'm not able to pay much attention to the commenters yet because I don't want to lose my train of thought. So I am going to just stay focused on the topic that we are going to talk, and then we will interact. All right. But I want to say to everybody, welcome to my live. All right. So tonight, as I said, if you just joined my live, we are here talking about trauma and how to feel safe and how to heal. All right. So here's the truth as it relates to trauma. Trauma changes the brain. It changes how you see the world, right? It changes how you see yourself. It can make you feel unsafe even when you are safe. That's how trauma makes you feel. It can make you feel unworthy even when you are deserving. You hear? That's how trauma is. It can make you feel unworthy even when you are deserving. It can make you feel alone even when people are around you that love you. That's how trauma can make you feel. But tonight, as I said, you are in a safe place. All right? Let's dive in a little bit more as it relates to trauma. So, signs you haven't felt, signs that shows are signs that say you felt safe. You're not feeling safe, right? And I'm going to just highlight or, shed light on some signs. Signs you haven't felt safe in a long time. So many people don't realize they are living in survival mode. And I think I speak about that on Monday when I was talking about how do we cope with loss. They think it's just their personality. It's just their personality. Sometimes you might see people, they react and behave in a certain manner. And if you don't understand why they behave in that way, is just because they're living in a survival mode. They're always on the defensive side, right? They think it's just their personality. They think it's just life, but trauma often show up in ways we don't recognize. And here are some signs. So you might be living with trauma if you these are some things that you can share are just to identify that you're living with trauma. You're always on the edge, always on the edge, waiting for something to go wrong. You sometimes you talk to some person, when you listen to them talk, it's like they're just waiting. They're just always on the edge, just anticipating something to go wrong. Another thing, you struggle to trust people, even when they are, even when they haven't done nothing wrong. And that is what trauma does. It allow you not to trust people. It allow you, not to have that sense of trust in anyone. You overthink everything. You apologize for things that you haven't done or it's not your fault, right? You feel guilty for resting. You feel unsafe in your own body. Have you ever felt like that? Feel guilty for resting? You feel unsafe in your own body? Have you ever experienced that? You shut down emotionally to protect yourself. Another one, you avoid conflict because it feels dangerous. You feel disconnected from yourself, like you are watching your life instead of living your life. That's what trauma does. All right. So these are not personal traits, and I just want you guys to be clear about that. These are not personal traits. These are survival responses, and they were created, to protect you. But how? They may be holding you back from the life you deserve, right? All right, so now we're going to look at the first step of healing. I love this. I love this. I love to see person heal from trauma, from the experience that they have gone through. When healing start to take place, that means that person is getting back their life together. And healing doesn't start with forgiveness. It doesn't start with letting go. It doesn't start with moving on. You know what healing starts with? Safety. When a person can feel safe again, then definitely the healing process will begin. So you cannot heal in the same environment. And I always say this to persons. When you have been through a situation, a traumatic experience in various places or at a particular place, it is encouraged to move away from that environment. Because if you stay in that environment, every time you are at that place, it is going to trigger. It is going to give you back those flashbacks to say this happened to me at that specific place. You have some persons, they have been through a particular situation at a particular place and they would have visit there. And upon visitation, you realize that there's something that triggers something that caused them to go back into that state. They start to remember this is what happened to me at this specific place. So, healing, for healing to take place, you have to move away from that environment that you were hurt. You have to move away from that place that that always remind you of what you have gone through. You cannot heal with pretending. You cannot heal with pretending. And it's okay to feel hurt. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel the way you feel. It's okay, right? You cannot heal while suppressing your emotions. So, the way how you feel, it's okay to react that way because it is not easy to deal with trauma. It's not easy to cope with trauma, right? And for healing to take place, as I said, you have to move away from that environment that caused some form of hurt and fear and caused that trauma in your life. Safety means feeling grounded in your body, feeling emotionally supported, feeling like you can breathe again, feeling like you don't have to be strong every second of the day, feeling like you can finally inhale. That's what safety means. These are ways in which can tell you that I am feeling safe again, right? The way how you feel. Sometimes safety is in a person. Sometimes safety is in a place. Sometimes it's in your routine. Sometimes it's in the boundary that you have set. Sometimes it's silent. And one of the most awesome, I would say one of the most beautiful safety or place of safety is in God. When you put your trust in God, when you get close to Him, when you are connected to Him, you will feel safe. You will find that sense of safety like you never find anywhere else. Because He tell you, He will protect you. He's your protector. He's your shield. He's your butler. And He will give you that sense of peace and safety and for you to live your life the way He designed us to live. But things happen. We have experienced various things in our life which affects us and cause us to get in that place of not feeling safe anymore. Okay, so your first step is identifying what safety looks like. What does safety looks like for you? If you want to type it in the comment or type it in the chat, that is fine. If not, just hear and just listen. All right. So what makes your nervous system relax? You see, our nervous system contributes to how we feel. It contributes to how we react, how we behave. So that is how important our nervous system is, right? What makes your shoulder drop? What makes your breath slow down? That's where healing begins. So let me just reiterate this. So when you talk about healing, what is healing? What does healing looks like for you? When healing begins, it helps you to relax. It helps you to, just feel a sense of peace. That's what safety is. Now we are going to look or dive into rebuilding your sense of self. Rebuilding your sense of self. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to my live. Remember to like up the live and share the live if you can. Okay, tonight we are talking about trauma and how do we heal and how do we feel safe again. All right, so trauma often steal our identity, and that's the truth. Trauma steal our identity. It makes you question who you are. It makes you shrink. It makes you doubt your worth. It makes you forget your strength. So I encourage you tonight. I just want to empathize with persons who at one point in your life you have, gone through some traumatic experience. I want to assure you, encourage you that you can find healing. You can rebuild yourself after those episodes. I know it's not easy, but with that support, with having people around you and learn to trust again, you can start the healing. All right, so when it comes on to healing, I know it can affect, when it comes on to trauma, I should say, it can affect you significantly. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. But healing is a process of remembering yourself. Isn't that beautiful? You build your identity back. One, how you can rebuild your identity back. Reconnecting with your values. Relearning what brings you joy. Isn't that amazing? Reclaiming your voice. Setting boundary without guilt. Yes, we have to set boundaries in our lives. Allowing yourself to take up space. Giving yourself permission to grow. Giving yourself permission to grow. You are not who the trauma make you. And I just want to make this clear. You are not who the trauma make you. You are who you decide to come to become. And every day you have the power to choose yourself again. So as we talk about trauma tonight, we're going to look at some practical healing tools. Hi everybody, welcome to my live. Welcome everybody. Welcome if you're just able to join. We are here and we're talking about trauma. We're talking about how you can heal after experiencing trauma. So now we are looking at some practical healing tools. So let's talk about some real practical tool you can use to start healing. So one, grounding techniques, and these will help you to, get back your body and your mind, in that space, right? These will help bring you back into your body when your mind is overwhelmed. And this is one technique. So deep breathing. touching something with texture, naming 5 things you can see. So these things, practicing these things, this technique definitely will help you. And we're going to look at movement now. So trauma live in the body. We know that from day one. We know that whatever you experience, it affects the body. So one thing you can do is gently movements like walking, stretching, or dancing. For me, I love to dance. I will. When I dance, I feel relaxed. It helped me to cope with situation in a better way. It just bring a sense of peace and calmness to my body. So if you see me or watch my channel, I do my dancing. I love to exercise, and that's a way in which I cope. This is something that helps me to cope with anything that I might be experiencing. I might experience in a sense of, just feeling drained, not feeling myself. But as soon as I hear music, especially my type of music, I will dance, and it just put me back in a place of relaxation, right? So movement, because remember, as I said, trauma lives in the body, and in fact, and it affects the mind, and it affects the body. It affects the mind, and it affects the body. So when you start to move, it will help you to cope better, right? And you can do your walking, your stretching, dancing help to release store tension. That's what I was talking about. So you see those tension that you are going through or experiencing. When you begin to dance, it will help you to cope better, right? And release those tension. Another technique is, I know for many persons, they're not comfortable doing this, but you have to learn to build trust again. You have to learn to build trust with people. It's hard when you have been hurt, and to build a sense of trust is something that takes work. But talking to someone you trust, you don't have to tell the whole story. And I always say this: you can't force a person to speak, you allow them to speak when they are ready. Because if you force a person to speak, you will not get much. But when you allow that person to speak on their own, and they will be able to express themselves in a better manner, and you will able to connect with them. So this is something that you have to learn to build. Again, is trust, right? And you don't have to tell the whole story. You tell your story how you can. So sometimes just saying, I am not okay, it's enough. It's enough for you to identify that I am not okay. That's enough. We do understand. We do understand. You have some persons, even when they are dying, and you ask them, how are you? I'm okay. But you know that this person is not okay. But for you just to identify, just for you to say, I I am not okay is enough. And person will understand. For person who do a lot of counseling, for person who in this field, who you see and you know what it is when persons are going through or experiencing traumatic event in their life. It's not easy to cope with. So we do understand, And we do allow persons, we give persons time for them to speak. Rest. It is very important to take your rest. Welcome to my live. Welcome. Welcome, Ruby. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name properly. Welcome to my live. Welcome, welcome. All right, so we're here, we're talking about trauma and how we heal and how we feel safe again after a traumatic event in your life. All right, so here are some techniques. We are here. We're on number 4. We're talking about rest. So your body needs rest to heal. Definitely, your body needs rest. So in the healing process, we will encourage you get adequate rest, right? Rest is not about laziness. Rest is a medicine. It's a medicine. Rest it's is a medicine. You need it. Our body need rest. So this is a technique, or this is a way in which you can help to build, that trust, or that healing. For healing to take place, we encourage you that you get adequate rest. Number 5, this one I love: boundaries. Set the boundaries, right? Healing requires protection. You have to protect your peace, and whatever it takes for you to protect that peace, your peace, you have to do it. You have to set that boundary, right? Healing requires protection. You are alone. You are alone. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to walk away. You are allowed to choose peace, right? You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to choose peace, and you are allowed to walk away. You have the right to say no. You have the right to walk away, and you have the right to choose peace. Number 6, faith and spiritual grounding. The spiritual aspect of life is very important. Just as how the physical, the emotional, the psychological part of life is important, the spiritual aspect of life, and this helps you to heal, and heal in a better way, right? And a much easier way. So faith and spiritual grounding. So for many people, healing begins when they reconnect with something greater than themselves. Healing begins when persons reconnect with something greater than themselves. And I can say, when you reconnect with God, you will feel that sense of peace, and you will feel that sense of being worthy again when you are able to reconnect with God. And how you can reconnect with God: prayer, meditation, reading scriptures, or quiet reflection can bring comfort and clarity. Isn't that beautiful? Meditation, prayer, reading God's word, or quiet reflection can bring comfort and clarity. All right, now we are going to move on to talk about you are not your trauma. You are not your trauma. I repeat, you are not your trauma. You are not what happened to you. You're not your experience, your traumatic experience. You're not what happened to you. I want you to hear this clearly. You are not your trauma. You are not your trauma. You are not your past. You are not your trauma, and you are not your past. You are not your pain. You are not the worst thing that ever happened to you. This is who you are. You are a survivor. And I want you to tell yourself, if you're here on my live and for some reason you are going through trauma right now, or you have experienced any trauma, you are not your trauma. You're not your pain. You're not your past. This is who you are. You are a survivor. You are a fighter. You are the one who make it through. You are the one who is still standing. And these are some affirmations, right? You are the one who is still standing. You are the one who is choosing healing today. If you are here and you are experiencing trauma, you are going through some traumatic moments right now, I want to let you know that you are a survivor. You are a fighter. You are the one who make it through. You are the one who is still standing. You are the one who is choosing healing. Yes, you're choosing healing today. Your trauma may explain your behavior. And I think I would have said that before. So when sometimes we see persons react and behave in a particular manner, it's because of what they have been through, because what they are going through. So we should not be judgmental. We should not easily to cast any form of judgment or say things that, will send off a bad impression about an individual because of their action. Because people, as it relates to their emotion, persons display that behavior because of how they are feeling, right? So trauma may explain your behavior, but it does not define your identity. And I know some persons, they have lost their identity because of their experience, their traumatic experience. They lost their identity. You are allowed to grow beyond it. You are allowed to rewrite your story, and you are allowed to become someone new. You hear that? I'm going to repeat that. Your trauma may explain your behavior. Yes, we know that. But it does not define your identity. You are not allowed to grow. You are allowed to grow beyond it. You are allowed to rewrite your story, and you are allowed to become someone new. So, for all that you have been through, it is okay. It is okay. You can rewrite your story. You can allow to become someone new. And this is what healing does. It allows you to think differently. It allows you to see things differently. It allows you to choose differently. It allows you to choose healing. And this is what healing does. It allows you to think differently. And this is what healing does. It allows you to think differently. It allows you to choose differently. And this is what healing does. It allows you to think differently. It allows you to act differently. It allows you to see things in a clearer and a better manner. When you find that sense of safety again, and the healing process start to begins. So tonight, I hope that you that are here, you were able to listen. And if you have been through any situation in your life, if you have experiencing or experienced any traumatic event, if something happened to you, if someone hurt you, if you have been in situation where you are not feeling safe anymore, you have lost your identity, you don't know who you are in a state of feeling unworthy, you are not able to trust anymore, I want to encourage you tonight that you are not your past. You're not your trauma. You are not your past, and you are not your trauma. You can rewrite your story, and you are allowed to become a new person. I am going to close in a bit, but if you guys who are here and you want to share, just write a comment. I am here and I will answer your question. But in closing, I just want to say to you all that it's okay. It's not your fault. What you have been through, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. And don't punish yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Learn to forgive. Learn to rebuild trust. Learn to love yourself again. Set that boundary. Do what you have to do in terms of finding safety. And I was, as I said in tonight's video, sometimes there you find safety in a place. Sometimes you find safety in somebody that you trust, in people. But most of all, you can find safety in God. He will not leave you. He will not forsake you. He will not turn his back on you. He is always there and he will always protect you. So, in God, put your trust. In God, put your confidence. And he will make a way. Even when there seems as if there's no way out, things may look impossible. But I want to encourage you tonight that God is the God of the impossible. And he will allow and he will help persons to come into your life, to guide you, to help to support you, because he knows that you need healing. He knows that you need a safe place, a safe haven. So he will put people in your life, the right people to support you, the right people to guide you, the right people to help you to rebuild, to retell your story, rewrite your story. Don't allow trauma to get the best of you. I do empathize with you. I do understand that healing sometimes can be hard. Healing sometimes can be hard. The process is not easy. But with connecting with God, who is greater than you, greater than myself, He will give you that sense of peace. He will give you that sense of joy, a sense of trust, so that you can able to trust again. You can able to love again. Healing is beautiful. When healing starts to take place, it's absolutely amazing. It allows you to move from the stage that you are. So tonight, in closing, I just want to let you know that you're not alone. You're not alone in this. You're not alone. God is with you. And find someone that you can trust. Find support. Find a supportive system, a supportive community that will help you to get through. So as we close tonight, I want you to, take a deep breath, right? And allow your shoulder to drop. Let your jaw relax and let your heart be softened. Healing is not a straight line. Some days you may feel strong. Some days you may feel broken, and it's okay. Some days you will feel like you are starting over. But every day you choose to keep going. I want to say this to somebody tonight again. Healing is not a straight line. Some days you may feel strong. Some days you will feel broken. Some days you will feel like you are starting over. But every day you choose to keep on going. It means you are healing. You deserve peace. You deserve safety. You deserve joy. You deserve a life that feels good to live. Hear me now. You deserve peace. You deserve safety. You deserve joy. You deserve that life that makes you feel good to live. And I know trauma will allow you to feel the opposite. But remember, you are a survivor. You are a fighter. I hope this message, you know, has helped you in some way or another. I hope what was said tonight, when we speak about trauma and healing and finding safety, I hope this video will help you to deal with your trauma in a better way, and you're able to find that place where you feel safe again, so that the healing process can begin. If this video or this live tonight has helped you and shed light and give you a sense of hope again, I hope you share it with somebody. Share it with someone who you think may need to hear this. And remember, you are not alone. You are loved, you are worthy, and your healing journey matters. Remember, you are not alone. I am here, Sarah's House of Flavor. If every time you feel a sense of down, wanting somebody, come man and check out my videos, right? You are not alone. You are loved. You are worthy. And your healing journey matters. Remember, guys, to subscribe. If you have not subscribed to my channel as yet, like the videos and share the videos. And it was indeed a pleasure to be here on this live. I was able to, bring some form of encouragement, motivation, and I hope this video has inspired you to start your healing journey, start the process, but most of all, find a place of safety that will help you to start your healing journey. My beautiful people, God bless you. Thanks for tuning in, and I will catch you in another time in Sarah's House of Flavor. Blessings, have a good night, walk good, and as I always say, remember to show love, show a sense of compassion, and look out for each other. God bless everyone. Take care, and I see you when I see you. Take care.